a couple of questions. We'll start with Jason Gregor. Jason, go ahead when your microphone's active.
Connor, you've gone through now the camp and everything else. Can you talk about the excitement level for this, and having experienced the one game, what's your expectations as far as the intensity and how this will be different maybe than game one of 2017?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a long training camp. I'm definitely glad we've gotten to this point and we can get started tomorrow, and definitely really excited about it. For guys that have been here a long time, we've talked about playoffs for a few years and haven't been able to get there. So this is a great opportunity for us. Our first game against Calgary, it didn't feel too different, even without fans. So I would expect game one to be no different.
Next question, Ryan Rishaug. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thanks, Andre. Question for Zach. I'm sorry if it's a bit awkward. I'm going to ask you to talk about Connor. He's right next to you. One of the things that the general manager and the coach talked about this year was the tone that the leadership group set. Obviously, with Connor as your captain, Zach, can you give us a sense of what tone you feel Connor wanted to set for the group this year as captain, and maybe how that benefits you now heading into the most important time of the year?
Yeah, well, I think his honor speaks for itself. But obviously, he went through a tough last summer where he wasn't able to train to normal extent that he would. So he's definitely he had a full summer, enough time to recharge, work out to his full capability, and obviously he's coming back and he's determined. You can see it more than ever. He's excited to be back. He's determined, and obviously, as a team, our ultimate goal is to win the Stanley Cup. So there's only one player on our team that has accomplished that, and therefore it makes our entire team very hungry. And obviously, Connor's a very, very big piece of that.
Next question, Jim Matheson. Jim, as soon as your microphone's active, you can ask your question. Go ahead.
This is for Connor. Connor, can you talk about Dylan Strome? Perhaps Dylan Strome might be matched against you and what you remember from your junior days, and does he know you as well as you know him?
Yeah, I mean, Stromer's obviously a guy that I know very well. He really smart player, very smart offensively. Looking forward to the opportunity to play against him.
Next question, Mark Spector. Mark, as soon as your microphone's active, you can ask your question.
At Darnell, in 2017, you guys made the playoffs, and I don't know about inside your room, but certainly around hockey, everyone said, okay, here come the Oilers, man, they're going to be in the playoffs every year. And that didn't happen. You guys are back this year. You got a pretty good team. Do you look at this playoffs differently after having had a couple of years where you didn't get to go to the dance?
Yeah, I think we're all just hungry to get back and play the guys that went through that experience. It was a great year there, 2017, but the let-off came the following couple of years. So I think we're hungry to prove ourselves that we're capable of being in this position and that we're capable of playing at this level of hockey. So I just think we're all hungry to get out there and play, and we know what we're capable of in this room.
Next question to John Dietz. John, go ahead.
This question's for Connor. Connor, when the Blackhawks won in 2015, one of the things that was always on their mind was the death of their trainer, Clint Rife. I know you guys had a tragedy in your team. I'm just wondering if Colby's going to be obviously going to be in the back of your minds the whole time, and how much that motivates you guys. Do you any plans to do anything before game one or anything like that to honor him or anything like that?
Obviously we're always thinking of Gaber, and we're holding him in our hearts and thinking about him and playing for him. So we've discussed a few things to do for him game one. Not sure if we've nailed anything down yet, but we're definitely talking about it. So but I think the best thing we can do for him game one is go out and get a big win. I think it sounds cheesy and sounds cliche, but I think that's the main focus.
Next question to Reed Wilkins. Reed, as soon as your microphone's active, you can ask a question.
Thanks, Andre. Good morning, guys. Question for Zach. In the playoffs in 2017, I mean, you had several games where you made a huge impact, shifted momentum, a lot of big hits, big goals. How much are you drawing on that for this year? And I'm wondering too if you feel like you're ready to be unleashed a little bit. I know the scrimmages were energetic and somewhat physical, but I'm guessing you aren't going to try to pop one of your teammates like you might an opponent. So do you have a lot of energy you're ready to expel here?
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of energy. I'm definitely excited to go, just like our whole team. But I'm not looking back on the last playoff run we had. The past is the past. Obviously, this is a new year with new challenges with a different team. So got to kind of pave our way as a team here, and I'm looking to be a small piece of the big puzzle here. So, like I said, I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to play. Obviously, a lot of staggered time, not doing too much. So to be back with the guys and ultimately get a chance to compete for the Stanley Cup, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Next question to Daniel Nugent-Bowman. Daniel, go ahead as soon as your microphone's active.
Yeah, this question's also for Zach. I mean, Zach, Tuesday's game against Calgary from just sitting upstairs seemed pretty weird. Obviously, no fans. You could hear things on the ice. I'm just wondering, as somebody who's, you're a physical guy, you like to engage with opponents, with it being so quiet, do you change the way that you go and talk to players, or is it all systems go in that regard because it is the playoffs?
I don't think anything changes as athletes. Once you get in the zone, once you start playing the game's the game. That hasn't changed at all. I'm not going to change any way I play or what I say. I am what I am out there, and it doesn't matter if there's fans in the stands or not. There's still important hockey games to be played here, and that's that.
Next question to Dan Rosen. Dan, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead.
Yeah, this is for Connor. Connor, I know you got a good pulse on your team, and I'm sure you believe that you guys are ready to go. What are the indications to you that you guys are ready to go? What are the signs? What are you seeing from your guys right now and your team that it's been 142 games since an NHL game was played and you guys are ready to play tomorrow?
I think it goes in steps. I think our first step was just getting back and hearing the excitement and then seeing it on the ice right from day one was step one. And I liked our scrimmages. I thought there was a lot of pace, there was a lot of compete. Didn't feel like summer hockey out there. So, and then obviously our game against Calgary, I don't think anyone can just call that an exhibition game. That was as close to a playoff game and an exhibition game as you're ever going to get. So. I liked everything that guys been doing on the ice. I like what I'm hearing from everyone off the ice. So all indications are that we're ready to go, and we get to do that tomorrow.
We have 4 media in the queue for questions, so we'll take those 4 questions and go ahead, Jason Gregor.
Darnell, this is for you and Zach. You guys are both intense players. I know, Zach, you said it doesn't change, but was it odd? Like, you ran over Gustafsson in that game, and usually the crowd would go nuts. And I don't know if that automatically just adds more energy or not. Does the bench have to be louder to maintain that? And do you think momentum shifts are going to be key? Because sometimes you would have a great shift just being physical, cycling, and the crowd really builds on that. So how do you find you guys are going to react to that aspect of it when you look at the emotional part of the game?
I'd say I think Cass said it perfect. Like, you get out there, it doesn't really matter who's in the stands or what's going on. You're in the heat of the moment, you're in the heat of the game. As long as there's someone wearing a different jersey on the other side, that's all that really matters. So the emotion, it'll be there, especially there's a lot on the line. I know it's different that there's no fans and there's no environment like that, but there's a Stanley Cup to be played for, and I think that's enough motivation that anyone needs in this league. So, with the momentum swings and whatnot, yeah, maybe you don't have the crowd and the loud roars in the background when someone has a good cycle down low, but it on the bench, as a team, when you're coming on.
Next question, Ryan Rashad. Go ahead, Ryan.
Connor, I wonder if you can just compare the way you feel heading into your second playoff compared to the first time when you had never done it before. I don't know if it's not so much about confidence, but just kind of where your head is at, having been there before, and what maybe main lesson you learned from that first time around that you definitely apply tomorrow.
You know, it's tough to draw comparisons from last playoffs to this playoff because it is so different. You know, there are still a lot of unknowns, and I think what you can draw on is just the style of play and how tight checking it is, and how every little thing matters. So definitely need to be dialed in as soon as the puck drops tomorrow.
Okay, we'll take 2 more questions. Jim Matheson, go ahead.
This is for Connor. The Oilers' power play is the best as any team in the last 40 years. Why is it so good?
Yeah, I think I think it's a combination of a couple things, and one is it's the same power play we've ran for a couple of years now. Same personnel. I mean, the net front guy kind of has mixed around a little bit, but it's virtually the same power play. Gully's done a great job of just letting us be creative and showing us certain setups and things to look for. And then I think third is just the players that we can put out there. We can play 5 pretty good players and who know each other really well. So it's definitely been a big part of our team and needs to continue as we move forward.
One last question, Mark Spector. Mark, as soon as your microphone's active, go ahead.
Darnell, just a question on the goaltending. You guys have been back and forth all season, 50-50 goalies pretty much. I know both guys have different styles, and you're a defenseman that obviously works closely with your goalie. How much time and effort is there adjusting to whichever different guy comes in terms of one guy handles a puck more than the other? And when will Dave Tippett tell you guys, the defense core or the team, who's starting in goal?
Tip will tell us when he's ready to tell us. I'm not sure when he'll let us know who's playing. The thing with our 2 goalies is no matter who goes in there, we have so much confidence in them. At this point, we've played over 70 games. So when either guy goes in there, you kind of know what to expect. They're both really, really, really good goaltenders that we're fortunate to have. And as D, it's always nice when you can look back there and see the Kosker, Smitty back there, because you know that they're going to give you everything they have that night, and they're going to do everything that they can to keep the puck out of net. And then for us, we just want to do what we can to help them out. They're both unique, play a little bit different, but they're both guys that we have a whole lot of trust in.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks, members of the media. We'll be back at 3 o'clock with Coach Dave Tippett. Thank you.